You have a comment on this quote that I hear lots of people say, and that is, you know what? Money can't buy happiness. What's your thought on that?
Oh man, that's my favorite question to get asked. So the concept of money can't buy happiness, money doesn't bring you happiness. Having more money doesn't bring you happiness. It's what you do with that money that can buy you happiness, right? If I were to say today, Fong, I've got you at all expenses paid trip to go to the Bahamas and you're going to take your family and it's going to be great and you don't have to worry about a single thing, you're going to be fairly happy. So it's actually the concept of spending the money to be in a place that creates the happiness. The money in your bank account doesn't create the happiness. So we believe that money can buy you happiness if you shop in the right stores, right? So what we teach is I created this new concept called a happiness bank account. And what it is, let's just use an example of, say, $50 a paycheck. Anybody can do this. It doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. You take $50 a paycheck and you just put it in a separate bank account. Let's call it $100 a month, $1,200 a year. What if you took that $100 a month and you went and bought happiness with it? So Fong, if I asked you today, the last time you went out for dinner, it cost you $100. What emotion did it bring out in you? How did it make you feel? How many people did you tell about it? Things like that. Mm-hmm. Probably can't share many experiences, right? When I'll share the example and it'll make a lot more sense. My fiance and I the other day took $50, went to the store, went and bought some dog treats, some dog toys, and went down to the animal shelter and gave it to the ladies down there. And they were ecstatic. They were like, oh my God, thank you so much. The dogs came out. They're like, these dogs never come out. This is crazy. Like, they're coming out to play with you and they just don't come out to see humans ever. And we played with the dogs and it was amazing. That was a few months ago, $50. My fiance and I went out for dinner the other day. I haven't talked about it since. Haven't even thought about it. Hasn't even resonated in me. So when we talk about, Fong, would you not go out for dinner one night to go buy yourself a story of happiness that will resonate with you longer? And we start stacking these stories of happiness and giving away with that happiness account. So every month you're doing $100 worth of happiness, buying a homeless person's socks, just buying Starbucks for random people, donating to a charity that excites you, anything you want. And all it's meant to be is just start to stack wins on top of each other about giving. And now you trigger your RAS, your reticular activating system, where you go and look for opportunities to give. And in a world where things are very challenging in a lot of spaces right now, a lot of people are looking for the negativity in the world. I'm looking for the positivity. Where can I make a change? When I'm walking down the street, I'm looking how I can spend my $100 a month to get my happiness. If I see a homeless person, I'll buy him something from that account. It's not that I'm taking it from my personal savings, right? That's the whole thing. When it's in a separate account, it's already allocated for that. And we allocate funds for going out and eating dinner, but we don't allocate funds for our own personal well-being, happiness. So that's what I'm trying to implement now with a lot of people, is creating this happiness account and just using it to do good in this world. Because as you do that, you'll be a happier human and you will look for reasons for good in this world. How can I help more people? What can I do? And if you have a family, it gets even more fun, because then you play with your kids in this game, where you start taking your kids out to do this kind of stuff. And your kids now get excited. And when they're in school talking to Sally, and Sally's like, oh yeah, my mom couldn't afford to buy me a pair of shoes this month. And you say to your son or daughter, hey, what do you want to spend this $100 on this month? And they're like, oh, Sally said that she didn't have a pair of shoes. I'd love to give her one. Now we're instilling a new generation of how we actually create philanthropy and giving in this world, that it just becomes second nature, or like common, that giving is just normal. It's not something you do when you're rich. It's not something you do once you had a ton of success. It's something that you build every single day as a principle in your life.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I
As you
love
can tell,
that.
I get passionate about this one. So
Hey,